been way too long since I made my last tutorial. I'm so sorry about that, but I hope you guys will forgive me because today I have a new one for you. And it's this shag slash bolero slash sleeves, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the real name for it is, but I will be showing you how to make this one today. And it's really easy, super beginner friendly. You're gonna need to know how to make a slip knot. You're gonna need to know how to chain. You're gonna need to know how to double crochet and how to do a slip stitch. And that's pretty much it. And with all that information, you can make this beautiful top. And like I always say, if you want to make these and sell these on your own little shop, I have no problem with that. I would just love it if you would give me credit at Yasak, my YouTube channel, and my Instagram. So without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you right now. I'm gonna be in the video, so I'll see you like right now. So this is everything that I'm going to be using to make the shag slash bolero slash sleeves. There's a lot of different names that this is going to be called, so I'm just going to stick to shag from now on. This is the yarn that I'll be using, sugar and cream yarn, you know, the classic. It's 100% cotton and it is a size 4 yarn or medium. Also, you can call it Aran weight yarn. And you're going to need, I think, about like 200 grams of this, not this whole thing, but you're definitely going to need like a generous amount. I'm also going to be using a 6.5 millimeter hook. I know that on this, it's going to tell you to use a 5 millimeter hook, but I just really like the look of the 6.5 millimeter. I feel like it makes it a little bit looser and like more holey. Some scissors to cut the yarn, of course, and then a darning needle, which if you don't have one, you can definitely just use a crochet hook. It's just going to be a little bit more tedious, but all we use this for is weaving in the ends all the way at the end of your shag. So now that we know everything that we need to get started, let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is a slip knot, and I'm just going to go like really briefly into it, but if you want a more in-depth video, I would recommend just Googling slip knot on YouTube and plenty of videos will pop up. But essentially how I do a slip knot is I hold the end of the yarn in my hand, I wrap it around my fingers like an X, I go under the bottom one, I grab that last one, and then I just pull up and I tighten. And that is a slip knot. And then we're going to start by chaining 51. So we're also going to be chaining pretty loosely, so feel free to leave a lot of room in between your chains. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to finish to 51 and then I will be right back. So I just finished my chain 51 and I thought I would just measure it for you just so you can see a little approximation. So it is about 21 inches long, and that's okay if it's a little bit more, if it's a little bit less. Crochet things tend to even out as you go on more and more. And so now we are going to start making the grid pattern. So we're going to start by chaining 3. This is on top of the 51 that we just did. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to start double crocheting all the way back to where we started. And you're going to double crochet into the 6th chain from your stitch right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the 6th one, we're going to just yarn over inside. I'm only going to put my hook through this one right here. And then we're going to double crochet. Pull through 2, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then yep, on that 6th one we crocheted. And then we're going to chain 2, yarn over, and we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and on that 3rd chain we're going to double crochet again. Sorry, struggling here. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to chain 2. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, yarn over into that 3rd one, and we're going to double crochet. And now we can see the squares happening. We're going to chain 2 again, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, into that third one, and double crochet. So you're going to continue the same exact pattern all the way until the end, and you should be finishing on that last chain. So just continue to chain 2, count to the third stitch, and then double crochet into that third stitch. So do not count this big loop here. You're going to count 1, 2, and 3, and that's where you're going to double crochet into. And do that all the way until the end, and I will meet you here. So I just finished the first row to my shag, and this is what yours should look like. And it should have 17 squares across, so I'm just going to count those right now just to prove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I will just measure it just so you guys can see a little approximation. So it shrunk a little bit. It's going to be almost 19 inches. And like I said, if yours is a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, that's totally fine. It stretches a little bit, and you know, crochet tends to even out. It's totally fine. So now we are going to get started on our second row. So in this corner where we just finished, we are going to chain 4 pretty loosely too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we are going to turn our work around so that it's facing away from us. And we are going to double crochet into this double crochet that we did in our last row. So we're going to yarn over, and it's easier just because it's like kind of obvious where to crochet into this hole. So we're going to put our hook in, and we're going to double crochet like normal, just like that. And you'll see that we'll have a pretty even square. And then we're going to continue the same exact pattern that we did before all the way across. Except it's even easier because now we don't even have to count the chains on the bottom. It's really obvious where we're going to crochet next. So we're going to chain 2, yarn over, find this double crochet, this hole right here, and put our hook in, and then double crochet like normal. And then we're going to chain 2, yarn over, and then in the next double crochet, you can stretch that out and you'll see the hole right here. We will stick our hook in, and then we will double crochet like normal. I'm going to do it a few more times with you. Chain 2, find the double crochet hole, and we're going to double crochet like normal. And then the last one I'll do with you guys, chain 2, yarn over, come all the way to the end, and double crochet. Okay, so here is how my work looks now. So finish this row the same exact way that you've been doing this entire time, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so now I'm on the last one of this row. I just wanted to show you how I do it because it is a little bit weird because this isn't like a normal square. So I just chain 2 like usual, and then I'm going to yarn over. And we know that there's 5 chain here, so you're just going to count 2. So there's one little one here, 1, 2, and then on the third one we're going to stick our hook in. Anywhere. It's honestly not super important if you like stick it, as long as it's like in this area and it looks okay, it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to stick it, and we're going to double crochet, and that's how we do that last square. If it looks a little bit wonky, don't worry, it's gonna all even out in the end. So now we just finished 2 rows, and what we want here is to have a total of 8 rows. So you want to be able to count 8 squares the way that we count 1, 2. We want to count 6 more. So I'm going to start this row with you, and then I'm going to meet you at the end of the 8 rows. So I'm going to start this row just in case that you need that. So we're going to chain 4, 1 very loosely, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to turn our work. we're going to yarn over, and then in this first double crochet, we see there's a big hole here. We know that's where we're going to be double crocheting into. So then we just double crochet like normal. And then we're going to chain 2 and continue the same pattern, yarn over, find the next double crochet, that big hole, stick our hook in, double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, find the next double crochet, stick our hook in, double crochet, last one I'll do with you guys, chain 2, yarn over, find the next double crochet, stick our hook in, yarn over, and then finish the double crochet. Sorry. Okay, so this is how this piece looks now. You're going to continue the same exact pattern where you're going to be chaining 2, double crocheting into these double crochet holes, and then every single time you get to one end, you're going to chain 4 loosely, you'll turn your work, and then you'll continue to do the same pattern of chaining 2, double crocheting all the way across. So if you need to know how to do this again, just restart the video and you'll be able to redo this same row another 6 more times. So I will meet you after we have 8 rows of this pattern. I thought I would finish the 3rd row with you just one more time so that I could show you how to finish a row when the beginning has chain 4 and it's not really obvious where to double crochet into. So just like every other part of this bolero or shag, you're going to chain 2 and you are going to count 1, 2, 3, and on that 3rd chain you're going to double crochet into there. And you'll see that they all look pretty much the same size, and that's essentially the pattern for most of this bolero. Everywhere else is really clear. You're just going to be chaining 2 and double crocheting into those indents that were made from the previous row of double crocheting, and then every single time you hit an edge, all you're going to do is count to the 3rd chain and double crochet into there, and then you'll do your chain 4 and turn and complete, and just do the same exact thing that you've been doing since before. So sorry about that. Again, I am going to finish 5 more rows so that I will meet you at the 8th row, or I will meet you after completing the 8th row. Okay, so I just finished the 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to get started on the shoulders, and we're going to be leaving a hole for our head. So this is either the front or the back panel. They're both identical, so it doesn't really matter, but we'll just call this the front panel. So now that we're done with the front panel, let's get started on one of the shoulders. So to do the shoulders, you're going to do the same exact thing that you've been doing before, but just a little bit different. So we're going to chain 4 like normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn our work, and then we're going to double crochet into the same place that we've been double crocheting in before. Okay, so we just did our first square, and we're going to want to do 5 squares total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be where you're going to put your last double crochet. So I'll do that with you right now. Chain 2, yarn over, one more, and just like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to do 4 of these right now. So we just did 1. And we're going to do the same thing that we did for the whole on top for the long rows. We're going to chain 4 and turn. So this is our second row. Then we're going to turn and double crochet here. Chain 2, double crochet in here. Chain 2, double crochet in here. And then last one, we're going to chain 2, yarn over, 1, 2, and then 3. We'll double crochet in here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm struggling so bad. Okay, so we just did 2 rows of the shoulder, and you are going to do 2 more, and then I will meet you after those 2. Okay, so I just finished one shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and when we finish, we're just going to chain 1. I'm going to get my scissors, cut a little tail so that we have like space to weave it in. We're gonna just pull all the way through and tighten, and that is one shoulder. So now we're going to get started on the next shoulder, and we do this by finding our corner. We're gonna count 1, 2, and on that second chain, we're going to stick our hook in. We're going to grab our yarn, pull it through, and we're going to make a knot. Make a knot. And then we're going to crochet like normal. So you're going to put your hook in, and you're going to grab the yarn and pull up, and now you have yarn on your hook. So we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, and then we're going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to make 5 boxes. So you yarn over into this first double crochet, stick your hook in, double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, double crochet, okay, so I just finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the difference between this shoulder and this shoulder is that in this one, we're actually going to do 5. And it's going to make sense, I promise. So we just did 1. I'm going to do the second one with you. Chain 4. We're going to turn. We're going to, oops, I just did a half double crochet. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of a mess today. And then turn, double crochet, last one, count 1, 2, 3, and on that third one, we are going to double crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 more rows, and I know this one is 4. This one, we are going to have 5 rows on it. So I'm going to meet you after I do my third row, so chain 4, you know, I'm going to chain 4, double crochet here, chain 2, double crochet, continue the same pattern. So I'm going to do row 3, 4, 5, and I will meet you at the end of 5. Okay, so I just finished the second shoulder. So you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. And again, here there's only 4, but don't worry, we're about to even them out. So once you get here, you're going to want to connect this so that it's like a whole panel. And what you're going to do is you're going to chain 20. And so it's nice to like try to make sure that it's straight because you're going to connect it to the other side. So I like to just kind of keep it flat, and then I'm going to chain 20 the same way that we chained at the beginning, on like the looser side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So once you finish chaining 20, you're going to go into the next shoulder. And I just want to explain really quickly why we do 20. So you'll see here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes here. And on top of here, we know that it's kind of by threes, but 7 times 3 is 21, and I just take off 1 because you might not understand this, but when we're gonna go back and forth here, we're gonna be doing double crochets here, and you do 20 because the 21st stitch is technically this one here. So if you decide to make your shag a different size, just know that to connect the neck on the other side of like the body, all you have to do is count how many squares you have here, multiply it by 3, and subtract 1. I'm really sorry if that's confusing. If that's confusing, just ignore everything that I said and just follow what I'm doing now. So I chained 20, and now I'm going to be double crocheting into the corner stitch here. So I'm going to count 1 chain, 1, and then on the second chain, we're going to stick our hook in and double crochet. We had already yarned over before we stuck our hook in, so that's how we're able to double crochet. So this is how this looks so far, and we're just going to finish off this shoulder the same way we've been doing, chaining 2, double crocheting right in here, double crochet, or chain 2 and then double crochet in here, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then right here in the corner where we cut off at the end of this shoulder, we're just going to double crochet. Okay, so this is what your panel should look like right now. You have this front, the 2 shoulders, and now we are going to finish the back panel, which, spoiler alert, is going to look exactly the same as here. If you are comfortable, I'm just going to explain it now. We're going to do 8 more rows so we can count 8 squares on this side. But don't worry, I'm going to do a few rows with you. So what we're going to do is just like we've been doing every single time we start a new round, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn our work. And then we are going to yarn over and double crochet into the indents that we've been double crocheting in this whole time. We're going to chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then we're going to do it in the last double crochet that we see here. And then just like at the beginning of this shag, we are going to be counting to 3 and then double crocheting into that 3rd chain. So if we see here, there's 1, 2, and then 3. Don't forget to chain 2, yarn over, and then 1, 2, 3, stick our hook in and double crochet. And then we're going to do that again, chain 2, yarn over, then we're going to count 1, 2, and then 3, double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, double crochet. So I'm just going to finish this row with you guys, just because I can. Chain 2, and then we are at the last double crochet. So you'll notice 1, 2, and then there's nothing left. So that means that we're going to be double crocheting into this first double crochet on this row. 1, 2, and then 3. So that's why when we're chaining in the row before this, we just have to take off 1. And then I'm just going to finish this row with 5 more of these. Last one, 1, 2, and then 3, and on that third one we are going to double crochet. Awesome. Okay, so we just finished the first row of the other side of this, and what you're going to go ahead and do is do the same exact thing that we did before, and you're going to do this 7 more times so that we can count a total of 8 squares. So we're going to chain 4 and then repeat the same pattern of, you're going to chain 4, double crochet, and then repeat the pattern of chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, all the way into the end. And when you get to the end, you'll count 1, 2, 3, and on that third chain you will double crochet and then repeat the same exact pattern back and forth. So I will meet you here once you finish your 8 rows on this side. So this is how your piece should look now. I finished the 8 rows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we are going to get started on the sleeves. So here I would recommend putting this over your head and making sure that you're comfortable with how it fits. And I'm just going to measure it right now. So it's about 17 inches across, and now this way is about 15 inches. Again, this does stretch quite a bit both ways, so it's not like that's like set in stone, but just so you guys have a little bit of an idea of the size of it. So now we are going to get started on the sleeves area. So I haven't cut off from where I did my last double crochet. You can if you want to, and I'm just not going to because I want it to be like all connected. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our piece this way, and we're going to get started on our sleeves. So what we're going to do is continue the same exact pattern that we were doing before, except this way. So you're going to chain 4 and then yarn over, and I'm just going to double crochet into this hole right here. That's going to be like, the goal is to just kind of stay parallel, not parallel, but right on top of all of these bars here, because you want it to look similar. So you're going to double crochet. I'm going to put my hook right here into this big hole, and I'm going to double crochet. And then I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way across to here. I'm going to chain 2, yarn over. Right here, this hole is a little bit more obvious, so I'm going to stick my hook in, double crochet, chain 2, yarn over here, just this big hole here. It's not like super important for it to be super precise, just find a hole that's like in this vicinity and you'll be fine. Chain 2, yarn over. Chain 2. I'm just going to finish this row with you guys, just because it's the first row. So about halfway there. I'm just going to keep going all the way to the other side. Okay, I'm on the last two, so I'm going to double crochet here, chain two. So I'm just gonna do one more because this one is connected to here. I want to make one more for this corner right here. So this square might look a little bit different, but that's okay. Okay, so we just finished crocheting all the way across, and now this is where we turn it into a sleeve. So what I do is I actually grab the back of it. So now it's facing me. We went this way. I turned it around, and I'm going to connect it from here, and I'm just going to slip stitch. I'm going to find this square here, and I'm going to count 1, 2, and on this second one I'm going to slip stitch it together so that it's connected, and you can see that we have like a sleeve here. And so now instead of doing like a panel, we're going to be going round and round. So I just connected it there. And now we're going to continue our sleeve by going round and round, and it just makes things a lot easier for me. So I'm going to do this next row with you guys. So I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to yarn over and into this first double crochet. We're going to double crochet just like normal, just like we were doing before, except now it's just not in a panel version. It's going to be like in a loop. So I'm going to chain 2, come over here. I think it's a little bit confusing to see, so I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you're able to kind of get it. So I just want to try to show you guys what I'm doing. So this is the sleeve that we're working on. We cinched it at the bottom right here, and I'm just going round and round around here, and currently I'm right here. So I am going to finish going around the same way that we've been doing before, and I'm going to meet you at the bottom of this armpit right before where we cinched it to just show you how I close off. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and so now we can see that there is a double crochet here, but it's going to be awkward if we double crochet and then chain 2 again. So we're just going to skip this one, this chain 2, sorry. So chain 2 and then 1, 2, count that second stitch. You're going to stick your hook in. You're going to grab your yarn and you're going to slip stitch just like you did at the beginning. Just like that. and you finished your second row of the sleeves. So here's how it looks so far. I know it's kind of messy looking, I'm really sorry, but this is how it's going. And we are going to get started on our third row together. So it's going to be the same exact thing all the way over. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, double crochet into that first double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, double crochet. And so that's going to be how you're going to do every single one of these rows. You're going to go all the way around, and I'm going to finish this third row with you guys, and then I'm going to explain it and let you guys finish the sleeve on your own. But just go ahead and crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the third row just to show you how to close off one more time. You're just going to chain 2, and then this is the first square that we did for this row, and you're going to count 1, 2, and on that second chain, you're just going to stick your hook in, grab the yarn, pull through, and then pull through one more time and tighten it. And that is the third row that we did for the arm. And now I'm going to let you finish the sleeve on your own. I do a total of 29 rows for one of these sleeves, and I already did 3, so 26 more. However, what's really great about this pattern is it's really customizable, and you can just try it on as you're going and see how you like the sleeves. And even if, like, let's say you were to finish your sleeve and you kind of close it off and you cut the yarn with scissors, it's really easy to just add your yarn back in and keep going, which is something that I really love about this project. But I am just going to finish the sleeve on my own, and I will come back once I have 29 rows of this sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and do 26 more rows, and I will be back at the end of it. So I am really happy with this fit. I really like how it's like not past my hands, but it's like right on my hands, and I am really happy with this. So now I know that it's comfortable for me to just, snap it off and close off this end, and then I'm ready to get started on this other side. But we are past the hardest part. Obviously, you've already done one sleeve, so this next side is going to be really self-explanatory, but don't worry, I'm still going to go into it in case you need that. But yeah, we're getting really close to the end, you guys. I hope you're liking this tutorial so far. Okay, so here's one sleeve that we just finished. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this. The sleeve measures to be about 23 inches. So let's just keep going and get started on our second sleeve. So I didn't tie off yet because I didn't want to, because I wanted to be sure that I liked the fit. But now that I can, we're going to find this loop that we crocheted in. We're going to cut the other side. And then we're just going to pull that through and make a knot. And don't worry, we will weave in all these ends later. So now it's time to get started on our other side for our other sleeve. And this is literally the same thing, but I'm still going to go through it because I just want to make sure that you guys have all the information you could need. We have the good side facing us. You want to make sure that you do the sleeves on the right side because you don't want to accidentally do it inside out. So we have the top of the sleeve here. We have where it's connected, like the shoulder, where it's going to go under our arm on this side. And you're just going to drag it so that you have that same side in front of you here. And then we're going to attach our yarn. We're going to find the corner where we fastened off. And we're going to get our hook and we're going to stick it through this corner. And we're going to grab this yarn, pull it through, and make a nice generous knot, leaving room at the end so that we can weave in this end, making a knot, and then continuing the same exact pattern that we've been doing this entire time. So I'm going to stick my hook in, I'm going to grab the yarn and pull it up so that I have one yarn, I have like one chain on my hook so we can get started. Okay, so now we're going to chain 4 loosely. 4, and then we're going to yarn over, we're gonna find the next like double crochet. This isn't technically a double crochet, this is a chain two because we turned it to the side, but I'm just gonna call it a double crochet, and we're gonna double crochet into this so that it lines up, because that's the goal. We just want them all to line up. And double crochet. So now we're going to chain two again, just like we've been doing this whole time. Yarn over and double crochet into that next bar. So like I said, we just want all of these double crochets to line up with the previous row. We know this isn't the previous row, but we want it to look like that. Chain two, double crochet, and it doesn't have to be anywhere specific, just as close as you can get. I'm crocheting right here. Chain two, yarn over. I think this is the closest hole I can see, so I'm going to crochet in here. Another thing to remember is not to be too hard on yourself for what you're crocheting, because you're going to be your toughest judge. So if you think it looks a little bit wonky, no one else will think it looks a little bit wonky, I'm telling you. Especially if you're surrounded by people who don't crochet. They're going to be like, what? I cannot tell where the mistake is. And that's kind of the beauty of crocheting. Okay, so I am going to finish this row, and I will meet you at the end of it. Okay, so I thought that I would finish the last two squares with you guys. So I'm just going to stick my hook in, and I'm going to chain two as usual, yarn over, and here we will find this corner, or not the corner. This next one's going to be the corner, so we're going to chain two, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4, so I'm going to count 1, 2, and on the third one, that's what I'm going to count as the corner. And I'm going to do a double crochet. Oops. Okay. So, hopefully you just finished double crocheting all the way across. It might look a little bit looser than this one, but don't worry. We know that that's going to get taken care of. So now what we're going to do is, we know that this is the right side facing us. So we're going to grab this side and this corner, and we're going to meet them together, and then we're going to connect them. So we're going to do that by slip stitching into the second stitch. So we're going to count 1, 2, and on that second stitch we're going to stick our hook in, and we're going to pull the yarn through every loop and tighten. And then we have officially closed off to start our second row of the sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to do this next row with you guys, and then I'm going to leave you guys on your own. So this counts as one row. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to yarn over and into that double crochet here. We're back to having really obvious holes, which I love. We stick our hook in, we pull through, and we double crochet. So we just did our first square on the second row. So we're going to chain 2, and then double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, going into the next one, double crochet, and etc., etc. So you're just going to want to continue doing the same exact pattern that we've been doing this entire time all the way around, chaining 2 and double crocheting into the double crochet space from the previous row. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to meet you all the way at the end, and I'm going to finish this row with you. So I'm about to finish the second row of the sleeve. So I just wanted to do that on camera with you guys so that I could just show you how I'm going to finish it. So I'm going to chain 2. Also, it's nothing special. It's the same way I've been finishing this whole time, but I thought I would just show you on camera. So chain 2, double crochet. Sorry, that's just my tape measure. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're not going to yarn over. We're going to be slip stitching, and we're going to count on our first square that we did 1, 2. So we'll see the second chain. 1, 2, and we're going to stick our hook into that second chain, and then we're going to grab the yarn and pull through both loops and tighten. Okay, so we just did 2 rows together on this sleeve, and you're going to want a total of 29 rows just like the other sleeve, and I will meet you at the end of the 29 rows. I'm about to finish the last row, and I'm just going to do that with you. I chained 2, and then you're going to find the second chain. You're going to stick your hook in, you're going to grab the yarn, and you're going to pull through 2, and then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to get some scissors, which I don't have. 1 second. You're going to get some scissors, and you're going to snip it right here. And then pull through and just tighten that. And that's it. You have officially finished your shag. You have officially finished your shag or your bolero, whatever you want to call it. And then you will use your darning needle just to hide all of these loose ends, which I'm going to go do right now. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was really well explained and understandable. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below, and I will get to them. And I will get to them as soon as possible. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now I'm gonna go try it on. But thank you guys again for watching. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please let me know in the comments like how it went. And please, like, I love seeing your guys' creations, so feel free to tag me at Yasak on Instagram just so that I can see what you guys make, because you guys, like, always have the best color schemes. Like, that's one thing that I'm always lacking in, like, colors. So I would just love to see what you guys get from your brains. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks again for stopping by, and have a beautiful day. Bye, you guys.